smile on your face makes it easy to trust you.
So, my girlfriend found James on Facebook. He had posted an event at this Starbucks. He was doing like an entrepreneur meetup event. And I've been an aspiring entrepreneur pretty much all my life, ever since I was selling candy out of my locker in the 6th grade. And she's like, okay, we'll go to this, whatever. And I'm like, I don't really want to go. It sounds kind of weird. But she dragged me to it. And we sat down, and it was me, my girlfriend, and this other elderly lady, probably like 65, 70 years old, something like that. Maybe a little bit older, 75. And I didn't know what was going to go on. And James just started talking. He's like, okay, I'm James. Basically, this is a coaching session. I just want to hear about what everybody's going through, and then I'm going to pick one person, and I'm going to work with them. And we're going to talk about everything that's going on in their life. And we went around the circle, and he picked my girlfriend, and then he just started talking to her. And it was like, I was kind of impressed by how fluid he was able to pinpoint the problems and not just talk about BS. And, he was kind of, I wasn't totally convinced at that point that it would, that I needed any coaching or that it would work well for me. I'm like, okay, he has a good point, worked well for her. We kind of had a breakthrough with her during that whole time period where she figured out some stuff about herself that would be really helpful with her business. And then we got back in the car, and I was kind of thinking, okay, maybe it would be a good idea, maybe it wouldn't, but I'll just go ahead and I'll schedule that 2-hour his discovery session that he has. And this discovery session, I met with him at a cafe, and we sat down, and basically I got to ramble about everything that I wanted to ramble about, and he was just listening the whole time. And when I stopped talking, he was just like, so here's what you're doing, here's why you're doing it, and I understand exactly like the thought process you're having and why these thoughts are entering your mind. And he kind of told me that thoughts create our experience, and I hadn't really thought about it like that. I've thought about like, okay, I'm going through my day-to-day whatever, and I react to things how I react because that's who I am. But I'd been through other coaches and stuff like that, but nobody had really put it in the form of you can change your experience in life by changing your thoughts. And that's something I found very interesting, that he called me out on all of my bullshit, and that isn't what other people had done in the past. So after that, I signed up with him for 1 month of coaching. And after that 1 month of coaching, I ended up signing up for another 3 months. Right now, James and I, it's funny because I went into the coaching thinking I want to be an entrepreneur. Let's start a business. Let's do this. But what he made me realize is there's so much crap in between that idea and creating a successful business, like personal stuff that is holding me back that I didn't even realize before because nobody would have pointed that out to me. The advice you get from your friends and family generally is very specific to their own lives instead of specific to yours, because they're relating you to how they think you should be a lot of the time. And it's nice to have a coach because the information is super candid, and they don't really have any they don't have any judgments of you. They're just like, okay, this is the information you gave me. This is the problem you have. Here are some solutions that we can use to move forward with it. So I think that in the month and a half that I've been working with him, I've probably grown towards being an entrepreneur more than I have in the past 3 years by myself.